Hello everyone, Man Avengers here for this week in keyboards, and it's back, baby. Well, it's been a cool minute, so let's say this is this month in keyboards, but hey, I'm gonna be back in a pretty big way, because it's this month in keyboards. We're gonna have a nice little multi-parter for the whole month of October. So first up is the keyboard news, and first we have the spotlight topics. These are topics that I particularly liked and wanted to talk about maybe a bit more than some of the others, also known as rapid fire. Our first spotlight topic for the night is E7V2 by Exclusive. It's finally time for the round 2, and I think a lot of people are going to be really happy. I mean, a decent amount of people are happy with round 1, so what's wrong with more of a good thing? Well, what is this good thing? Well, it's the newest version of Exclusive's 75%, which will be running mid-November for $435 or $540 if you win the raffle for a special edition. Included in your purchase is a PCB that is QMK and VIA compatible, ding, an aluminum, brass, or possibly an FR4 plate, an aluminum or brass weight, polycarbonate for the underglow diffuser, and an aluminum or brass backplate. All the brass bits I mentioned are an upgrade, so only expect to pay that $435 price tag if you're getting all aluminum. Unlike round 1, there will be an option for a hot swap PCB with a fixed layout, which has been becoming much more popular for many people entering the hobby and want to get into customs without knowing how to solder. The compatibility with VIA is always a huge bonus compared to round 1. I really like the design changes with the light show up top and what we're seeing on the bottom of the case with the weight and the dual tone aesthetic. There will be 3mm silicone dampening foam between the plate and PCB, as well as a rubber gasket, because you know, everything is gasket mounted these days. The plate has been changed to be a leaf spring to be a bit more flexible than before, so it's using both a gasket and a leaf spring plate. Well, consider me interested at any rate. There also seems to be a pretty awesome trailer, video trailer for the E7V2, so hey, if your next paycheck's coming up and you're looking for a pretty swell 75%, save up and look no further. Our next spotlight topic is the Melody 65, which is actually live right now. Well, it's live first come first serve, limited founders editions are already sold out, but the remaining Melody 65s will be running until 500 units are sold or November 20th, whichever comes first, and my bet is the 500 units being sold before November 20th. So I think a lot of people will find this board tempting because of its friendly $239 price tag. You're getting an anodized aluminum or polycarbonate case, universal or ANSI plate and PCB, and some options and extras like foam, extra PCBs, plates, We all know 65% are all the rage these days, and it's no surprise that a lot of people have their eyes on the Melody 65. In terms of the looks department, it isn't too bad. I can see why some might consider the look maybe a bit aggressive, either on the sides, the front height, or the angles, but like most everything that is KBD fans, there's going to be a hot swap version available so people can enter in without knowing how to solder. It's actually pretty cool to see a lot more people being able to enter the hobby and get deeper into customs without being restricted by the skill of soldering, although in the future I do think it's a skill many should eventually learn if they plan to stick around in keyboards and really get into some of the awesome things happening. Price is nice and has options for people, so hey, if you're grabbing a aluminum, you can grab it in a black, dark gray, silver, dark purple, burgundy, navy, or white, and since it's 2020, of course there's going to be a polycarb option. If you're interested, you better hurry before they're all out. Our third spotlight topic for today is a pretty cool one. It's the interest check for the Dalco 959 Mini by Dale Snail. This 60% is inspired by the Porsche 959 and will be available in silver with a red plate. That's a classy keyboard, classic colorway right there. The board is a 60% with a large internal brass weight, stainless steel accent, and an anodized aluminum body. I'm really liking the look of this board, from the bezel side to the front lip, that steel accent and that massive brass weight, and those rubber strips that go all the way along the bottom. You know, it really frames the weight right there. Ooh, beautiful. There are going to be 2 build options if you're getting this board, which will be an O-ring gasket which wraps around the PCB and plate, or a classic top mount for the plate. Typing angle 7 degrees, front height 17.6mm. Overall, not too shabby, pretty comfortable. Layout options are Songon or Win keyless with only split backspace and split right shift options, and a semi-fixed ISO option if you're about that. While I don't know the price yet, I will be in this to win this whenever it comes available because I think this is going to be a classy keyboard for classy people. And you know what? I do like 60% boards, so I'm happy to see even more of them because our next spotlight topic is the Uki60 by Uki. It's described as a seamless, screwless, top-mounted, win keyless 60%. What a mouthful. And to be honest, the screwless bit is a bit misleading because it's only screwless externally, but of course there are screws to hold the whole keyboard together. The look of the board itself is extremely simple, but refined with the whole look and design of the case. I wouldn't be surprised if people thought this was a 60% NK65. You know, sometimes I think we're winning when I see a UK designer put out all the renders with an ANSI layout. The PCB will be QMK and VIA compatible. It's going to have a center USB port on the PCB instead of having a separate daughter board. I hope this board turns out well and isn't too expensive. I feel like I'm covering like all the 60% because yeah, you know it. Our next spotlight is for another 60%. It's the Orca 60 by Orca builds. So this keyboard is described as a premium yet minimal 60. The looks are there, but what makes this board particularly interesting for me is the magnet mount, which was inspired by the Lodestone. Magnetic strips are oriented on the bottom of the case and the plate such that the plate is repulsed upwards from the bottom of the case by the magnets, and there are going to be some little tabs on the side that keeps everything nice and aligned, and that seems kind of cool. So it's different. I'm down to try something different. There's going to be little gaskets that's going to keep it aligned, so like when you push it, it all still goes down instead of just completely tilts over. What will really scare people away from this board though is it has to be that price. $650, and only 25 units will be available to be raffled. I mean, the board itself otherwise is pretty simple. It uses a WT60C or WT60D PCB. The bottom has a stainless steel weight, 7-degree typing angle, front height just under 18mm without bump-ons or under 20mm with bump-ons. I hope there's a less expensive variant in the future because new mounting styles can be interesting, especially if it works out and feels good. I don't know if a mounting style like this will take off like gaskets did, but I'd be down to try it in the future. Our last spotlight topic for the month is the ORI No.2 Genesis by Bruce Din. The Genesis is taking the design cues of the HHKB Pro HG and combining it with the Alice. We got a seamless design Alice with a nice back piece, accent badge up on the top. The plate will have flex cuts. It will be gasket sandwich mounted, allowing for potentially a very fun typing experience. Potentially. The case will be available in polycarbonate, 8-degree typing angle. The feet on the bottom they're pretty intense because there's a lot of them. So if you've got a big thing for feet, then this might be the board for you if you're into that kind of thing. I'll take a guess and I'll say it's probably going to be expensive. For me, the HHKB Pro HG is one of my holy grails, and seeing a board take design cues from it is definitely fun to see. Finally, we have a big mention of the week or month, and the big mention is the Bauer Round 2 raffle. It's happening and happened over on Dixiemech. It's too late to join the raffle now, and it's ongoing with invoices rolling out as we speak, so best of luck to everyone who's entered. And speaking of people who entered, 5,306 people entered the raffle. Crazy, 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 crazy. But what's the Bauer? If you haven't heard for some reason or somehow, the Bauer Round 2 is the second iteration of the original Bauer, which is a 65% keyboard that is gasket mounted and it has some nice curves to it. Changes have been made from the original to the new one. There's a new compression control system, which means the new gaskets, there are new gaskets in certain places to help with plate isolation and alignment. The bottom has been updated, the internal design has been updated, plate tolerances have been cleaned up a bit so it's a bit less sloppy. Not that it was sloppy before, but it's even cleaner and neater now. No Cerakote this time. They're all going to be either anodized or there'll be a polycarb version. Ever since the Bauer 1, so many people have been waiting for the Bauer 2. So for the raffle, 320 units available, 160 in polycarb with a cyan aluminum plate, 160 in aluminum black and brass colorway. Polycarb units, 500 each for the winner. The aluminum versions, 600 each for the winners. Best of luck to everyone who joined. Hey, if you made it and you got in, let me know in the comments. But you know what you don't need luck for? You don't need luck to check out the sponsor of this video, Novel Keys. No, you won't need luck if you want to join the group buy for the NK65 RFP edition, which is absolutely perfect if you're looking for an NK65 polycarb with the catchy topographic pattern UV printed on the back. The board will include your choice of either NK Silk Yellows or Crystal Jade switches if you're ready for that clicky life, and they're going to be color matched to the case. Keycaps are going to be provided, die subbed, PBT, cherry profile, matching colorway to the case, RFP logo, novelty keycaps, and a matching topographic spacebar. If you're in it to win it, all you need to do is join the group buy over at Novelkeys in the link down below before it ends. Hurry, let's go. Okay, now it's time for the fun part. It's time for the rapid fire. Yeehaw, let's go. The Hex.6C, which ran this month, was a full-size southpaw. It's gasket mounted. It has a knob at 420 Singapore dollars per board. Price isn't too shabby considering it's all sold out already. The Hive 60 is a 6% that didn't make it into the spotlight, but still probably shouldn't be a sleeper considering the fact for what you're getting for $275. Check it out. And it's made in the USA, which means 2 thumbs up for me. The mako.TKL has interesting sides, but not interesting enough for me to have entered the raffle and pay $425 for them. At least it supports sharks. Support Gura, please. The Saturn 60 has already moved on to production, but people were moved by its old school design using bent metal for the case. Cool aesthetic, to be honest, but I'm curious to hear how it's going to sound with that kind of construction. Either it can work out okay, or it's going to be echoey and bad and metallic. We'll see. The Zplit is a Zplit board that's probably one of the more cleaner ones I've seen lately. Still, not for me. You can put lipstick on a pig, but I ain't kissing. Next, we have the Karina, which is a 3D printed 40-ish% thing with knobs and LED lights. It looks like a sound Voltex controller did the dirty with a 40%. The Pizza 65 is great because it's called the Pizza 65. Like, honestly, I don't have anything bad to say about this board. In fact, it's fun. It's the Pizza 65. In fact, this board is courageous, okay? Imagine a group buy runner running a 65% in 2020 that's neither gasket mounted, doesn't have a corner blocker, and isn't available in polycarb. Oh my god, wow, what a time to be alive. Great on you, Pizza 65. The Quadrant R2 is a 5x14 ortholinear with plaid aesthetics. You like soldering keyboards? You think your soldering is dank enough to show off? Here you go. The ESNTL_TKL is a TKL with a very simple construction and nothing particularly fancy going on with it. And that's okay, that's okay. $340 for a TKL is probably something people would hop in on these days anyways. The HB60 will soon be available in Stormtrooper White Cerakote for around $300-ish. That's it. The Crescent TKL is another gasket-mounted TKL with some horizontal running strips for the feet, and while it doesn't do anything extra, it's another board to help fill the thirst that many people have to, want to get a new board. The Igris V1 is a TKL that is called a throwback to cone feet, but it should be noted as a throwback to JANK plate fitment. Next is the Big Dill, which isn't really a big deal. 4x13 matrix. The Dolores is named after a river in Colorado, but it looks more like the McPhee than Dolores. It's alright, I guess. The Bahrnob 65 is probably what you'd expect most out of 2020. 65% gasket, a knob, a pen rail. Nothing particularly offensive except for the plate mounted stabilizer cutouts for the plates. What are you doing? What are you doing, homie? The did I spell that right? GMK65? That's probably not right. It's a wooden keyless 65% that sports gaskets. Nothing is particularly wrong with it. Uses a daughter board, and the gaskets are made of poron. I can't read from here. Oh well. The Space Trek 73/HHKB is offered in too many colors, and you know what? Shine on, you crazy keyboard, with your light up bezels and your crazy amount of colorways. Just going wild there. The Tsukuyomi is, yes, another 65%, but this time the draw is it has a left macro column, baby. Oh yeah. It may not have gasket mounts, but it does have a corner blocker. I'm sure when this comes out, we'll see plenty of people getting it to flex their artisans on that macro column, because what else are macro columns good for these days? The Functional 96 V2 is a it's probably one of the more interesting 96 key layouts I've seen, because it has blockers, which is pretty atypical for a 96 key, but it's still a 96 key, which is generally a letdown, so Finally, we have an unnamed 75% whose only factor that makes you even want to talk about it is that ridiculous OLED on the right side. Also, the keycaps are riding pretty low rider. Gonna be a hard pass for me. Why would you want an OLED on the side? Why? Well, with all that said, thank you everyone so much for sitting through this extremely long month wrap-up for October in keyboards. But hey, stay tuned. This weekend there's going to be a keycap video just like this where we're going to talk about the keycaps for October. Because little did I know when I was making this, there's way too many things going on. So I should return this to a weekly show. So in November, program will return to normal. You'll see some weekly November This Week in Keyboards moving forward. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Subscribe, all that's normal stuff. Check out the sponsor. Yeah. Keyboards, keep on keyboarding, stay classy. I love you all. Have a wonderful time.